It's Jann Scott with another Jann Scott Live. So today, let's talk about Minneapolis and what's going on there. Here behind me is a picture of the FBI now taking crime scene photographs of the car with the women who, at least ICE says, tried to run them down, tried to move, would not. She would not reply or stop when they told her to stop. She wouldn't get out of the car. And then they shot her and they killed her. So now the FBI has taken over this investigation. They will not let the Minneapolis Police Department investigate it. They don't like Governor Walz or the mayor after what they said, blaming ICE. But let's have a look at this entire situation. What really went down here? Okay, so let me just move over here for a second. What really went down in this situation? First of all, this lady was invited by her wife to come to Minneapolis, ostensibly to protest and be part of the all the Minneapolis protests. So now, let's just have a look at some of this. All right, so here we have to remember Minneapolis has a history of rioting and burning the city. So Kristi Noem said, it's not going to happen. I'm going to send in more ICE troops. They're there ostensibly to get out illegal aliens and remove them from Minneapolis. They knew there was going to be problems, so they sent in a lot of troops. So here is Kristi Noem, all dressed up in her gear, but she is pretty much, this shooting was a good shooting. The FBI, she runs ICE, right? But then the FBI is run by Kash Patel. And they're not going to find this ICE officer. They're not even going to charge him. They're just going to say it was a good shooting, period. Let's move on. Then we've got, here's Mayor Walz with Noem, and he's bitching her out, blaming her, all that. Well, that's no way to get cooperation from Kristi Noem or the federal government. So immediately they just moved. They said, you know what? We're going over your head, Governor. We're going over your head, Mayor. We're going over your head, Police Department. Okay. Excuse me. Let me get rid of this phone call. We're totally going over your head. You're not going to work us the way you've done in the past. Remember when the George Floyd incident happened where he was killed by a Minneapolis police officer, the protesters went crazy and they burned the city. Noem and Trump are saying, not this time. We're going to move in a lot of troops. We're going to stop you. So then the governor comes out and says, yeah, well, I'm going to call the National Guard and we're going to put them up against ICE. But you know what's going to happen? Donald Trump will federalize the National Guard and he'll turn them right against the governor and the city. Okay, so here are all the ICE agents, circled up, blocking the protesters from attacking them. So here's the car. So what happened here now? So you've all seen the video, right? So what you don't see, and what the news is not telling you, is that this woman and her friends came to this area, blocked the ICE cars, got in front of them, blocked them, wouldn't let the officers get to their vehicles, and then she and her friends were all lined up there trying to inhibit the movement of ICE officers with her vehicle. So they had enough of that. After hours of it, they pulled up and they said, get out of your car, and she's like, fuck you, and she tried to run through them, and they shot her dead. And ICE is going to call that a good shooting. So is the President of the United States. So is the FBI. You may not like it. You may say, oh, that's a bad shooting, da 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 da. But we have to look at what these people did to these ICE agents up until this point. They really pissed them off, and they really got into them. And when this woman decided, the officer standing in front of her, he said, okay, stop, don't move. She kept coming, bam, killed her. It's not the first time they've done it. They've done this before. So here's the message. Do not fuck with ICE officers. They will shoot you with impunity. All right? They're not going to be charged. ICE officers kill hippie demonstrators. The FBI won't charge them. They're going to say, great. ICE will not charge them. Kristi Noem won't charge them. Donald Trump won't charge them. That's the way things are. So when ICE come to Boulder or to Denver or wherever they are, you're going to put up a fight against ICE. They're going to bring in more troops, and they're just going to come after you. And that's just the way it is. Now, do I think it's a good idea? No. Do I agree with ICE on this? Not necessarily. Do I think you need to watch your ass when you're out there screwing around with ICE? You better, or they will kill you. That's the message, right? That is the message. And then here are all the demonstrators out there. They decide that, if the demonstrators in any city in the United States or in Minneapolis think they're going to take on ICE and firebomb, I wouldn't do it. You're gonna really be in trouble. Why? Because the ICE have been given the green light to go ahead and shoot you, and they are not going to be charged. That's what's going on here. Okay, that's the story. The FBI, they're not gonna prosecute, charge ICE officers. Do you think that the Department of Justice is going to charge that ICE officer? No, they're not. The only one they're going to get charged are this guy. I would watch my step, Governor Walz. You have enough problems, but they're not going to fool around with you. This is like the Nixon days. Anybody remember that? But worse. Anyways, hey, I'm Jann Scott. Out.